Assalamu alaikum everyone. Assalamu alaikum everyone on my YouTube channel. Let's talk about ego and higher self. We all have some point of our life feels that this is something it insulted me and I feel bad about it because it makes me feel angry. Ego have a lot of big drama and ego creates illusion, and we forget about it that to draw a line between ego and what is reality. Ego versus higher self means that ego is all about self and higher self is about serving others, to think about others, because we can see over the ego in this situation, but mostly we all regulate on ego. This thing has made me feel so vulnerable, making me feel so scary or bad. It's all came from ego. Let's find out what is ego and what is higher self and what this says. So firstly I would like to explain about what ego says. And ego seek to serve itself, and what higher self is, soul seek to serve others. Ego seek outward recognition. So when a person is egoistic, he or she wants the outward appreciation from another human beings, always about outwardly praise. But a soul seek inner authenticity, means a person having higher self, soulful, always wanted to have that authenticity coming from their own heart inside. It's always ignite from inside. It has nothing to do with the outwardly world. So two difference we hear about in this. And ego sees life as a competition. So we have see a lot of people like hamster always chasing things, and always its life is all about competition. You have to go through a lot of struggles to seek that position, to have that number one position, etc. whatever. So but what soul sees, like soul sees life as a gift. So means if someone is so soulful, he or she will appreciate the life inside of it, or he or she will be always thankful towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the life they are having. But egoistic people always sees life as a competition in everything, like a rat race. And the fifth one is like ego looks outward and soul looks inward. Always remember, egoistic people always sees who is praising me, or how can I earn that praise, because it's all about them and competition of life. But soulful people always looks inward and always thinking that this is something that I really wanted, to have the peace of soul. But ego versus soul is quite different. You can understand it from all the things that I have recited over here. So ego feels lack. To anyone who is having ego problem, always thinks that everything is lack, scarcity, nothing is more. They have this feeling and the regulation of emotion in that scarcity. But what soul feels is abundance, and they think that everything is so abundantly available for them. So that's why they think that soulful people think that everyone is good and there's enough for everyone. Ego is always like mortal. This is only for a short period of time. But soul is eternal. Soul sees transition of living or going back to the next life. So that's why ego feels lack, or soul feel abundance. Ego is drawn to attractive things like filthy, or about going through bad things like only showing off things, or those things which seem so glittery. But what happens with that soul is that soul is always drawn to love. Ego seeks wisdom, soul is wisdom. Ego enjoys the prize, soul enjoys the journey. Ego is cause to pain, soul is cause of healing. Ego is cause to pain and soul is cause of healing. Here I can say that ego means whatever you do in ego will always leads you in pain, and whatever you do means if you are soulful, you are natural healer. Okay, so ego always reject higher energy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they always think that everything whatever they happens in their life and soul embraces their creator. Means anyone who is very have you seen those people who are in their own self? They always think about the materialist thing, the worldly life, and reject the divine energy. And soul always embraces Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, means they always accept that their creator is enough for them and they love them. And ego seeks to be filled. Ego always want that their vessels to get filled up, and soul is eternal wholeness. Ego is me, soul is way. So here we can say that ego is all about their selfishness and soul is all about thinking about all of the peoples, and it always connect with their creator, and that makes them what we call it as soulful and healers. So here are the difference between the ego and the soul, so we can differentiate between them. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do subscribe it and share it with your friends. And